die. Do not die. These were the first words that came into my mind when I regained consciousness. There were a few other thoughts that came into my mind as well, such as the fact that I was falling through the sky, hurtling towards the ground at about 250 kilometers an hour, or the fact that I was spinning out of control, and every time I spun around and saw the ground, it was rushing pretty rapidly towards me. I had been solo skydiving in Australia and was attempting a few spinning maneuvers when things got a little out of control. I lost my balance and I started spinning so rapidly that I blacked out. When I came to, things weren't optimal, but as you can see, I managed a safe landing eventually after deploying my parachute, then disentangling myself from the lines because the lines were all messed up because the parachute had deployed while I was still spinning, and in the process had dislocated a shoulder as well. Now, this is one of perhaps a dozen NDEs or near-death experiences that I've fortunately lived through, and luckily they've all been near-death experiences, not death experiences yet. But I've never, I wasn't always in the right position to capitalize, enjoy activities like these which I love doing. As a kid, like most of us were, I was outdoorsy, active, and very adventure loving. But as age caught on, as responsibilities piled on, I found myself slowing down, a place where I was not being. The realization of this, I distinctly remember, happened in the winter of 2009. I was pursuing my master's in England. I remember looking at myself. I was red-faced, sweaty, completely out of breath. At 25 years of age, when I should have been in the prime of my life, I weighed nearly 210 pounds. It's about 96 kilos. And I was phenomenally unfit. Now, I wasn't happy being there. And I was surprised that I had gotten there. But life does that, doesn't it? We can slip very tiny bits every day until we don't even know where we have ended up. And it applies not just to health and fitness, but to love, to relationships, and to career goals. Well, I knew I needed to change, and I tried. I tried for a year, but change was never drastic enough and change was never lasting. And I realized that was because the source of motivation wasn't strong enough. I had tapped into the usual motivation we all look for, which is either rational motivation or the motivation of fear. Rational is when we say, I should. I should eat healthy because I want to lose weight. I should study harder because I want to pass my exams. Now, rational motivation is great for short-term transitional goals, but for a drastic, lasting change, I found that it was falling short. Motivation of fear, on the other hand, is a much stronger emotion, right? That's when you say, I need to. I need to eat healthier or I'll have another heart attack. I need to complete my work or they'll fire me. Now, the issue with fear-based motivation is that it's usually only effective after you've crossed a threshold and gone to. And other than that, I don't know if waking up every morning, tapping into our fear and using that to push us towards our goal is the way we would want to live our life. So, realizing that something deeper needed to be leveraged, I started looking for passion, trying to tap into what really motivated me, and linking that with what I had to do is the way I figured things would move forward. Always having been a consultant, I decided to make a 5-step framework to do this. Now, just to be clear, this is not a framework for following your passion. That's a truism. We should all try and do that if we can. But many times in life, what we need to do and what we want to do are not the same thing. And this is about leveraging what you want to do to be able to do what you need to do, to be able to resolve the obstacles in your way, to be able to achieve that goal of yours. So 5 quick steps. The first one, of course, starts with discover. There are thousands of books out there, speeches, blogs, that talk about discovering your passion. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. We all have our own way of discovering our passion. For me, that was sitting down and asking myself some simple, hard questions and being brutally honest with myself and with the answers. Questions like, if I was guaranteed I would not fail, what would I do? Or when I have free time and I find myself researching something, curiosity, intrigue, Where do these take me? What am I naturally curious towards? And so on and so forth. And I discovered I was passionate, really passionate about three things. Travel, but off the beaten path, adventure sports, high risk, and martial arts. The second step is commitment. Find an activity which lets you indulge in your passion, which lets you enjoy what you do and commit to it. That's easy enough, right? I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? But the trick lies in linking your difficulty, your obstacle that you're facing with this passion in a way where you have to overcome the challenge to indulge in what you want to do. Getting fit for me was a challenge. Staying fit for me was a challenge. So I did some research and I found this event called the Tough Mudder. It's a quarter marathon from hell. It's essentially 10 kilometers of running through fire, of climbing ropes, of swimming through dirty water, of dunking in ice buckets, and of even getting electric shocks. Sounded like a phenomenal way to spend the weekend to me, so I signed up for it. I had 4 months in hand to prepare for it, and it was something that I was really, really excited about. Which brings me to the third step. Engage. Do the thing that you set out to do. Engage in the tasks, the challenges that you are unable to do. But now you're not pushing yourself. It's not a rational push. It's not a push based out of fear. You do it out of excitement. You do it because you can envisage the end goal. You do it because you can see yourself living in that moment that you truly enjoy by overcoming the hard stuff. And through those 4 months, I was excited to watch what I was eating. I was excited to do CrossFit because I could see everything that I did having an end result and what that would do. Step 4, the fun part. Execute. Go and finally indulge in the passion that you've been training for. I finished the Tough Mudder. I didn't finish first. I didn't even finish in the first 50%, but I finished. And I was proud of that, and I was very, very happy about that. Although my washing machine probably wasn't. Repeat. Once you finish this, you're on cloud 9. You have a big hit of dopamine. Leverage that, right? Figure out your next challenge. Figure out your next goal, and jump right back into it. Don't let the enthusiasm wane. Don't let that go away. This framework, over the past decade or so, has worked phenomenally well for me in all fields. It's let me indulge in a lot of my passions, such as adventure. I've continued to skydive, all good so far. Nitrox certified scuba diver, done many technical mountaineering expeditions around the world, and gone off-roading across 3 different continents. It's also let me indulge in my fitness. I lost the weight, and I have so far managed to keep it off. I have had the privilege of training with some of the best in karate, taekwondo, ninjutsu, aikido, and mixed martial arts. Collected a lot of injuries on the way, but also a few trophies. Especially proud of a silver at the Singapore National Karate Championships and a bronze at the prestigious Asia Pacific Karate Championships. Thank you. And travel, my first love, or second, sorry. My second love. I've been fortunate enough to step foot on all 7 continents of the world. I have spent a winter in the North Pole, where there is no sun for 3 months, just pitch black darkness with the occasional Aurora Borealis shining overhead. In contrast, I've spent a summer in Antarctica, where the sun does not set for 3 months. Over there, I kayaked with whales, walked with penguins, hiked mountains, and swam amongst icebergs, which is very refreshing. And this framework is not just applicable to physical goals, right? Leveraging my passion for health and wellness, I realized in 2015 that there was a vacuum in India when it came to high quality, orthodox green teas and white teas that are very, very healthy for you. Along with another BCG alumni, Bhuman Dani, we set up a tea company that imported the teas from all across the world and used the Indian blends mixed with Ayurvedic herbs to create some of the healthiest blends in India. That business grew rapidly, won many international awards, raised multiple rounds of funding, and today not only sells tea across India, but exports to over 80 countries around the world. Thank you. So, the takeaway is simply this. There are tough challenges in life and they will not always align with your motivation. There is no magic bullet that will guarantee you success, but if you can find a way to use your passion as a lever, you will find the edge to overcome most of the challenges you face. If I may quote Archimedes, or if I may paraphrase him actually, he said, "Give me a lever and I will move the world. Make passion your lever and the world will move for you." Good luck. Thank you.